evening all. I was wondering if you guys could let me know if the sound is okay and that you can see me, and I shall check your messages, see who's here. Hi there, Stefan and Drew, Myra, good evening, and Verpy, and Donald, I hope we are feeling better today, and Rodney, hi. Drew, Myra, Bruno, hi. Rodney, I'm so glad you could make it. Denise, Cindy, Vince, hello, and Becky. Right, can someone just give me the loud and clear, Becky? Thank you. Cindy can hear me too. Great. Well, tonight I want to tell you what Cecil Collins, my art teacher, taught us, trained us, I suppose, as the basis of how to open your creativity. And it's there's like 7 creative energies, and I want to take you through what they are. Thank you, Denise. Donald, I'm glad you're okay. Well, Verpy, that is very random, and what's interesting is that one point after our animals tour, David and I had gone to Kauai with Alice, and we decided to stop having any meat. I particularly stopped any extracurricular drug activities and alcohol. And when I got back home, I went into collapse and went to my homeopathic Ayurvedic doctor, and he put me in his naturopathic clinic, and I was there for weeks, and it rained, and I sat by the window, and I believe the rain healed me, as well as just having grapefruit and chamomile tea and homeopathic remedies. Anyway, that's really interesting, Verpy. Very, very random, and I shall remember that. Thank you. So coming back to the 7 energies, they're all based on what I'm going to show you now. Let me switch it over. So if you look closely, there are 7 creative energies, as I said, and 1, 2, and 3 is based on the energies that ground you and take you into the earth energies, which is thought and your emotions, and matter has an energy that we work with. Then if we jump to the top 3, which are tones of invocation, and they're called the Magical Harmonies, and that is to do with will, love, and light. And we've often talked about these things, but what's I'm going to bring to your attention tonight is that the artist, or the human being involved with the art of living, we are the equilibrium, we're number 4, and that we are constantly, whether you know it or not, swinging, ever changing in the relationship between spirit and matter. So as an artist, and what we were doing with Cecil in his classes, we had to play with those 7 tones, and we had to create them. And I'll show you the next thing that we had to do often, and all of his teachings in the classroom was based on this. And that is, we had 7 little jars, some water, and we had to use very dark Chinese ink, which you either made beforehand or you used a bottle that you can get from Amazon. And it's quite an exercise of creating those 7 tones. And what it does when you get them just right, it brings you into a space, because you're the middle person making the pendulum, as I said. It brings you into a place of great harmony. And most cultures at the moment are identified with the bottom 3 of the thought, emotion, and the matter 3. And we've forgotten true creativity comes through contact with the higher energies of will, love, and light. And throughout these sessions, these streams, I keep bringing you back to discovering another aspect of reality that becomes your priority. And that's peace, and that's beauty, and that's inspiration and your creativity. And so the artist actually is playing with these 2 polarities to manifest beauty. And you're taking the energy of chaos and creating beauty. So what I found with Cecil's classes was that it was a journey. It became a journey of discovering what true creativity was and living it, and awaken my own unique creative qualities, which is still manifesting, evolving. I'm really grateful for it. And so I, during the beginning of COVID, created these classes with the basis of Cecil's work that he inspired us to do. And there's so much, it's so hard to consolidate it down. But the first lesson, which I'm talking to you about today, is Deep in Doubt More, and is for free to see if it encourages you, inspires you to go further on the journey. And I hope that the people who are taking this will set up an email relationship for questions and taking things deeper. And I want to say that I have a new shop that is really wonderful, and you can look on it, and it's, gingergilmour.co.uk/shop. So have a look if you're inspired. There's lots of things on there you might already know about, but it's a really nice format. I'm really pleased. So I'm going to check your messages. Yes, Bruno, you do. And Denise, she says that this is what I did for Ginger's introductory art course, and it's not as easy as you might think. No, it's not. That's Rodney tie-dyeing, I can see that. I totally get it. Dyeing with flowers is nice. The main thing is, Cecil used to say that you don't have to understand in order to create. You actually create in order to understand. It was quite a switch. And doing these tones maybe you'd like to do it and then send me your attempt. There's a fineness. There's a fineness between the matter aspect of who we are and the spirit aspect of what we are. And so and then to find the balance of acceptance and not have one over dominate the other one is an inner process. And Cecil used to take us through, we had to have all the tones, and then he'd swirl us. We'd have to do one brush in one color, one tone, Conte crayon or a pencil, and you'd have the two going together. You had to move. Sometimes we had to put it in our mouths. And the main thing is that he wanted to shift our normal focus. So it took a while. It took a while. Wow, that sounds interesting, Becky. I've never tried it that way. I used to dry them, but I never did that. That's really interesting. So I hope some of you are going to give it a go. And I'm just backtracking through the messages, if they'll let me. So Denise, it wasn't as easy as you might think, but did you send me an email to my lessons so I knew what was happening, of your difficulty or not? Anyway, where are we? So, thank you, Lino. Oh no, Denise, I didn't see it. We've been working on adjusting my whole network and stuff, and that's that sounds nice. Would you mind sending them to me again? Because I'd really like to see them. How long did it take you to do it? Can you share with me more of what... Aha. So you have, Denise, you've signed up for the rest of the lessons, but you've not done it, any of it yet. Well, maybe that's probably a good sign that we'll be closer and I can help you through it. Nice, Becky, pressing flowers. So when you go through the other lessons, there are different positions that Cecil would take us through that I encourage you to do. There's using the different materials that we had to use in class. And by the end, believe it or not, you make a painting of your own. So I look forward to seeing it. Bruno, you should have seen some of the people that came to his classes. We didn't know what to do, and it's sort of the creative impulse opens you up, and you'd be surprised. And it sometimes just helps in the art of living. So a lot of people in the class would become better at whatever they were doing in their lives, because what this creative experience does, it opens you up to something that you've forgotten about. And you know what that is? It's that you're beautiful. Hi Francine, nice to see you. Becky, I just saw something today. Is the Maltese yours? I saw some advice today on Instagram about dogs that bark at night and disturbing your sleep. They suggested that you turn on flicker the outside light of your house and everything and let them do all the barking. And then they get so tired that they don't bark through the night. They think they've done their duty. I don't know about your Maltese. How long have you had him? It's so cute. Oh my goodness, he loves to bark at his shadow. Okay. Do you turn off the lights at night? Hi Lisa, welcome. So, I don't know how much you've heard, Francine, but we were talking about the different creative energies. And there are 7 of them. And you as an artist or as a human being is the pendulum between them. So maybe you can watch the replay so you can see what I was talking about. So, Becky, your Maltese doesn't bark at night, but he snores. Oh, what a poor little being. Yeah. What do you mean, Bruno? I have to learn Ginger's home. Ah. Garnet's trying to find out about dragons, mythical beasts. What's St. George? Do you know much about them yet? Maybe you could share. Becky, you're so funny. Your Maltese thinks he's a German Shepherd. I can believe it. They have strong willpowers and they are really determined. I had a friend a long time ago that had one. So, in fact, he had 2. And he was in a flat in New York City, so I don't know how much his neighbors really liked him. Oh, my goodness. Animals. We always had 2 dogs at first for a long time. It was Joe, the white Alsatian, and Lisa, the, oh my goodness, how can I forget her, what breed she was? It came and it went. She was beautiful. Julie, he put me through it when I first came into the class, which I mentioned in part of one of the chapters in my book. He ducked because I came in this smiling American. I'm sure it was really strong American, and so he said to me, I want you to draw, paint, nothing for 2 years. And you have to just come to my classes. And in the end, I came to his classes for 8 years. And I didn't do anything for 2 years. He wanted me to open up that inner process. And most of all, he said he was happy that I hadn't gone to college and gone through the normal program of what art is. Wow, Garnet, that's interesting. She says St. Leonard's Forest in Sussex, there's a dragon. I am going to look that up. That sounds fascinating. Dragons are very special creatures, energy, day gone by, that represent the highest that we are. But in a way, we've killed them all, except Maybe St. Leonard's Forest has one. And I'm going to look that up. Thank you, Garnet. So Verby says she's admiring those paintings behind you. They are really amazing. The drowning faces painting speaks to me. I don't know if they're drowning, but that's how I see it. Well, that is called the Sea of Souls. And when you're looking at it, the intention was, as a viewer, that you would be seeing through the veils of how people don't know who they are. And in a way, they are drowning. But you, as the viewer, you're not drowning. You're looking at it from a higher perspective of knowing who you really are without knowing in some ways, I suppose. It's really interesting how that affects people. And what I wanted to do as an artist was to give people an experience that touches their higher self. So this was one that I really took it a bit further, hoping that the viewer, being on this side in their creative realm, even in their subconscious, it might plant a seed. Yes, Lisa. No, Rodney, I've never written a guide to painting, but I'm constantly thinking of, well, my paintings are a doorway. It's beyond any lecture or any words, so that you feel something inside you with any luck. There was, forgive me if you've heard this story before, but in one of my early exhibitions, when I had the series of relationships that I talked about, I think 2 streams ago, sacred relationships, that having done the house, I was guided that I needed to have artwork that could be mobile. So it's, I created the sacred relationships. And I had Sacred Vow, which was about almost like how the Scots for many centuries, decades, bonded with each other. And we had Moment and lovers and mother and child and brothers, and all of them were there. Angelic Whisper with the angel that speaks to the human, saying, I love you. And there I was in this room, and this woman came up to me and said, Ginger, can you tell me about Sacred Vow? What is the feeling, the intent behind it? And she said, because my sister came up to it, freaked out, and left, said, I can't be here in front of these sculptures. So I told her that that particular one is about the sacred relationship between a man and a woman and your commitment. And she said, oh, well, my sister just wound up having a very bad divorce, and I think that's stirred her in the subconscious that she had to leave because it was just too painful. And I said, well, you know, if she lived with the sculpture, after a while it might soften the hurt and melt it and bring back the beauty of her heart. So that was one of my initial experiences, I have to say. And there have been many of them, really lovely ones, of how it suddenly people start to smile at the exhibitions. But because of COVID, we haven't had the grace of doing that. So I hope at some point we'll be able to do that again. this is true, Yvonne, the lions, if you remember, were the lions with the blue eyes. I was really inspired because I heard of Andrew Harvey talking about his experience with them in Africa. And then I got the books about the blue lions because it moved me so much that I had to get up and paint them and tune into them. And yes, Verpi, they are, particularly the blue-eyed lions, are our guardians for humanity. And they're here to try to help us sort out our chaos that we're creating, and to remember the balance of spirit and matter is what we're here to do, to bring balance and harmony and live the highest quality that we can live. And this what we're all trying to do. So I think it's time to have our weekly meditation. Unless there's something else you want to talk about first. Let me know. Well, they are special beings, that's for sure. I will post them, all the ones I've done so far, and we'll see how you feel about it. Anyway, let's go into having our meditation, okay? Visualization. And this week I've chosen this image for us to work with. It's a tree. And what I love about this image, it's a tree that gives us the experience of being in contact with earth and with the heavens. So it lines up really well with what we're talking about this week. So, at first, we can have our eyes open and go through the initial tuning in. So if you're comfortable, if you're sitting, please have your feet on the ground. If you're lying down, that's okay too. And whatever brings yourself into stillness. So as you look at this image, feel the strength of the trunk of the tree. That's you, that's the pendulum. So what we're going to do is visualize that from the trunk you are going down into the earth, feeling the earth, the soil, the matter, feeling the water that nourishes you, the strength, the balance of Mother Earth. And then slowly go back up the tree, traveling to its branches and spreading out into the light of heaven. And feel that light. Feel it being all around you. Now bring that light into your heart. And at this point, you can close your eyes. let that light radiate into your heart. Equally, feel the warmth of the earth, of the moisture, nurturing, and feel the balance of those energies within your heart. And with the breath, feel that light, that earth within. So breathe in and hold it and release. And breathe in and hold it and release. And breathe in, hold it and release. Now take this quality and expand it throughout your body, within. Nurturing, inspiring, bringing love and light and balance to all of your organs, all of your muscles, all of your cells. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. If there's any little bumps or hurts or pain in any part, place this energy around it, within it, and love it, and let it melt away. Breathing in, healing, and relaxing. Breathing in, hold it, and release. Breathing in, healing, and let release. Feel the stillness, the softening of your breath, relaxing. Come back to your heart center. And expand this quality of balance, of harmony, of love, of light into your room where you are. It's your sanctuary of stillness, of calm, a place you come to be at peace, at rest. Feel the room with the quality of earth and heaven. Of matter and spirit. Feel their marriage within your room. So breathing in, hold it, and release. Breathing in, hold it, and release. Breathing in, hold it, and release. Feel the stillness, the comfort, the peace. Now slowly expand this quality to your community, to the people you love, to your neighbors, to your country. Expand it to the globe, to the forest, humanity, the animals, the birds, the plant kingdom, and most of all, Mother Earth. So let's do Ho'oponopono that we did last week. And speak to Mother Earth and say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. We are together to heal each other in unity. Breathing in, hold it, and release. Breathing in, hold it, and release. Breathing in, hold it, and release. Be one with all of creation, with Mother Earth and our spirit, the angels, and our Creator. And you. Now slowly return to your country, to your community, to your loved ones. If there's anyone there that needs healing, say their name so we can all work on healing them. Place this energy of harmony and love and light. Surround them with this quality. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. Slowly breathing out. Breathing in. Hold it and release. Return to your room and slowly come back into your body, into your heart, and remember this quality where you are the pendulum, bringing balance between the earth and the spirit within you. Place your hands over your heart and speak to yourself. I love you. I love you. I love you. Hold the quiet, the stillness. Stay within the harmony. And when you're ready, slowly return to the stream. I've been reading your comments. It is, Rodney, the branches do look like veins. And it does look like hands and a face looking down, Becky. Good evening, Angelo. Welcome. Trees really protect the planet, I have to say. You're most welcome, people. Yvonne and Julie. And Verpy, I'm very happy you feel like a tree, because if we take the time to slow our breath and realize the oneness that we are. I used to go out and stand with my back to a tree and feel exactly what we did today. And you go into it, you can feel the stillness, the guardianship, if you do that. It's really special. There's something with the birds in England. They want us every day to take an hour and see if you can count the number of birds that come into your area, and then let them know, what's it called? It's not the RSPCA, it's something about bird watching. So doing that has made me more conscious of the birds, and you can hear them talking in the stillness of who they are. Hi Anna, I'm glad you feel good in Verpy. Yep. You have a very special heart. So I don't know if any of you are going to try doing the tones, the 7 tones. It's quite an exercise, and it shifts your inner attention and balance. if you have the patience. It might take days to do it. But it's worth it. I'd like to know how you feel with it. So it's if you can hold on 1 second. There you go. Someone was trying to call me. Anyway, people, it's near time to say goodnight again. And I hope your week will be wonderful. I know Matthew is building up to his gig tomorrow. And I know a lot of you will be silently wishing him well. Burpee, thank you for being here. You helped make it wonderful. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you for being here. Oh, good, Nikki. I was wondering because I thought that he needed more. Yeah, good luck for Matt. I'm glad he was rehearsing. Did he do the whole gig for what he was going to play? You're welcome, Francine. I know, Rodney. I know what you meant. I get the same typo quite often. But I got the feeling. Okay, well, Furby, I hope it went well because I felt that he needed to practice more. Because with that new machine, he needed to practice more. But it sounds like he is. Becky, it's my pleasure to share time with you. And I wish you all well. And I'm going to say ta-da, good night. Thank you for coming. So, and here is my new link for my new shop. You should have a look at it because I'm so happy with it. The designer did a really good job.